Family and friends at a Southern Kentucky high school remember a 17-year-old killed on these train tracks.
It wrecked me inside. That she was my little girl's best friend.
After more than 2 years away from her family, a dog found in Lexington on Friday is heading home.
Some important advice on what to do if you get a solicitation in the mail like this one coming up.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
We're tracking breaking news out of Lexington. Lexington police have arrested a third person in the deadly shooting of a UK student last Friday.
The third suspect is a 17-year-old juvenile who's been charged with murder, robbery, and tampering with physical evidence. Police say they do not plan on making any more arrests. Justin Smith and Efren Diaz were arrested on Friday for the murder of 22-year-old Jonathan Kruger. We'll have more details about this case coming up on WKYT News at 6.
A teenager's family and friends say he had a personality that could light up a room. Now they're dealing with his death.
17-year-old William Walters was killed in Laurel County over the weekend. Deputies say a train hit and killed him during a camping trip with his cousin and brother early Saturday morning. Today, grief counselors were at his high school in London. Phil Pendleton tells us how students are remembering Walters in our top story at 5:30.
Sometimes lessons learned at school do not come from a textbook.
Death is part of living, and we want to just pay honor and tribute to William and to his family.
William Walters was going to graduate from South Laurel High School in a matter of weeks.
William was loved by our students and by our faculty, and he's going to be greatly missed.
Early Saturday morning, something happened during a camping trip with his brother and cousins.
I just want to find out where it was at.
Richard Blevins and Danielle Sasser returned to the scene Monday, still unsure of why their beloved friend was killed by the CSX train.
His personality and how awesome he was.
He wasn't afraid to do anything.
I spoke with a member of William's family today, and they say they have been overwhelmed with the amount of support they have received in this time. They say that William will simply be remembered as being a good kid. Police say the 17-year-old was on the tracks when the train tried to stop but couldn't and hit him. It happened on a section of the tracks on Tackett Road near the Lilly community.
It shows you that life can be taken away at any moment.
And blink of an eye.
And you need to cherish your friends and your family and cherish your own life too.
The incident remains under investigation by the Laurel County Sheriff's Office. In Laurel County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Van Kirk Funeral Home in Corbin is handling the arrangements for William Walters.
Right now, Lexington police are questioning a person who tried to run from officers this afternoon. Officers say a man driving a gray BMW drove the car into a house on Shropshire Avenue. The driver tried to run away but was quickly arrested by police. They have not said why they were following the car in the first place, but we are told this arrest is not connected to any of the recent shootings in Lexington.
Rounds of rain have been moving through, bringing with it, though, some cooler weather now. Meteorologist Jim Caldwell has an early look at our forecast. How about it, Jim?
Yeah, we'll be seeing temperatures trending somewhere between 5 and 10 degrees below average for highs coming up this week, all thanks to a couple of systems that will pass through the area. We might even have some frost potential later on this week as well. We look outside across Kentucky. We're looking at several different locations, looking at Frankfort, Corbin, here in Lexington, and down toward the Richmond area where you can still see 75, a little on the wet side there. Drying up around Lexington, though, as we're starting to see that moisture push away from us. Down in Corbin at 60 degrees just a little while ago, closer to 70. Now that cooler air and some of those showers are starting to push closer to you, and that means we'll start seeing things cool off quite a bit. There you see Kentucky's most powerful live Doppler. That is Defender, tracking this little stretch of showers all the way down across parts of Tennessee and even into southern Ohio. So it's a decent little system, just not a lot of widespread heavy rain showing up out there. We did have a few thunder showers out there too a little earlier. By 8 o'clock, we're around 58 degrees, not very far from where we are, especially here in Lexington. We might even see a little break in the clouds, maybe a little peak of sunshine that will try to stabilize or push our temperatures back up. But the showers will linger in eastern parts of Kentucky, maybe through 11 o'clock tonight. And then tomorrow, we could do it all again with more showers trying to develop during the afternoon and evening. We will track that hour by hour coming up in just a few minutes.
Heavy rainfall and flooding has caused Cave Run Lake to hit record high levels. The Army Corps of Engineers at Cave Run hit a record of 31 feet this morning. The previous record was set in 2011. We're told the flooding has gone down some since cresting this morning.
Two co-workers of a murdered Union College professor are working to honor her memory by creating a new scholarship. The Dr. Sarah Hendricks Endowed Scholarship will support generations of social work students. Police in Corbin say Hendricks' 16-year-old son Jason killed her, her husband, and their daughter back on February 11th. He died in a shootout with police in Baltimore, Maryland, a few days later. This week marks 1 year since a Bardstown mother and daughter were found dead in their home. Tomorrow, Kentucky State Police will hold a news conference about the murders of Kathy and Samantha Netherland. The daughter and sister of the victims, Holly, will give a brief statement. No arrests have been made in their deaths, and police are still searching for a black Chevy Impala seen on surveillance video driving away from the area not long after the murders.
One of two teens accused of calling in a threat to a southeastern Kentucky high school has pled not guilty. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Whitley County. 19-year-old Nicholas Greenlee was arraigned today. Police tell us a crisis center in Iowa received a message last Thursday saying someone at Whitley County School had a gun and was going to shoot children. This caused a lockdown for hours. Police say they eventually traced the message to Greenlee and a 16-year-old. Greenlee was ordered to have no contact with any Whitley County school. In Johnson County, a man accused of murder is expected to change his plea tomorrow. Investigators say Gary Ward killed Christina Barnett and then dumped her body along Highway 80 in September of 2013. Ward originally pled not guilty to murder, evidence tampering, and abuse of a corpse. Charges today. Court officials have not said what charges Ward will change with his plea. In Nelson County, police are looking for a dog that was stolen during a burglary. Bardstown police say Romeo, a 5-year-old Yorkie, was taken on April 16th from a home near Walmart on Springfield Road. Police say electronics and jewelry were also stolen. We're told Romeo has a tattoo of an X in one ear and weighs between 7 and 10 pounds. The suspects are described as two light-skinned men driving a silver Toyota-type vehicle.
She's finally on her way home. 2 years ago, a dog ran away from home just before her family moved from Lexington to Utah. The family tells us they weren't able to find their beagle, Tilly, before they had to move. But just last week, Tilly was found walking down a Lexington street. Mike Linden tells us how the Lexington Humane Society plans to reunite them. It's new at 5:30.
This is Tilly. She's a 7-year-old beagle mix from Lexington. 2 years ago, she ran away from home.
It was heartbreaking, especially watching the emotions my little girl had to go through. It wrecked me inside. She was my little girl's best friend.
Tilly was a gift to Jennifer's daughter after her father came home from serving in Afghanistan. A few months after Tilly ran away, Jennifer and her family were relocated by the military to Utah. After 2 years, Tilly was found last Friday.
Tilly was found just walking down the sidewalk here on Hart Road in the Tates Creek area of Lexington without a collar on and without any tags. The people that found her say before even bringing her home, they knew exactly where to bring her.
Tilly's microchip confirmed Jennifer as her owner.
First thing that came to mind was, how am I going to get her home?
In order to raise money to get Tilly to Utah, Jennifer's best friend set up a GoFundMe page to raise $1,500 for travel expenses. A member of the Lost and Found Pets of Lexington Facebook page volunteered to drive Tilly to Utah.
But this is going to be a truly amazing story to take a dog 1,700 miles away to her rightful owners that, due to circumstance, had to move and weren't able to continue searching for her.
Christine plans on hitting the road Wednesday.
First thing I'm going to feel is positivity and being complete, and finally my little girl having her best friend back. I just want to hug that dog. I've missed her so much.
Tilly arrives in Utah this Friday. In Lexington, Mike Linden, WKYT.
If you'd like to follow Tilly's trek across the country, go to WKYT.com and click on this story.
There's a new scam on its way to your mailbox. As our Sam Dick reports, this scam is one that offers you the possibility of a huge government grant, but takes your money instead.
If you receive a solicitation like this one offering thousands of dollars for a business cash grant, throw it away. Just below the headline, it says the bearer of the certificate is entitled to $360,000. In reality, it's worthless.
They paid a lot of money for a piece of paper that was, just something they could print off their own printer, really.
Postal inspectors say if recipients decide they want to apply for the grant, they need to pay a fee up front.
The recipient would send a check in a certain amount, depending on the grant amount they wanted. So the larger the grant amount, the more money they had to send to get it for a processing fee.
Days and then months go by and victims never see a penny.
Unfortunately, folks fall for this, and when they got the certificate, and it came along with some work-at-home type things where they could earn money.
One victim told inspectors she went to the address on the envelope to demand her money back.
She was, pretty upset because she went there to get her refund and got there, and it was a private mailbox place, and they just forwarded the mail to Canada.
Inspectors say many victims blame themselves for being scammed.
The reaction I get from a lot of them is that they actually feel stupid for responding to these kinds of ads. And, they shouldn't feel stupid. They should understand that these are worded very well. That's why they fall for it.
That was our Sam Dick reporting. Postal inspectors recommend going to the website grants.gov to check if a grant offer is legitimate.
Follow WKYT online at WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
The deadline has passed to register to vote in Kentucky's May primary election.
And we are getting a look at the voter turnout from Kentucky's May primary 4 years ago. Bill Bryant takes a look in the bottom line.
Good evening. The registration rolls are now set for the upcoming May 19th primary. Those wanting to vote had to be registered by this afternoon. The marquee race is for governor, and the candidates continue working hard for votes. But the real issue may be getting voters interested in going to the polls at all on May 19th. In 2011, Kentucky's statewide primary turnout was only 10%, with just 142,000 Republicans going to the polls to pick their party's nominee. WKYT is doing extensive interviews with the candidates. Hal Heiner will be a guest on this weekend's edition of Kentucky Newsmakers. We'll tape the interview as he campaigns in Lexington on Wednesday. Berea is apparently headed toward a vote on alcohol by the drink at larger restaurants. Berea's Mayor Steve Conley is in favor of the vote. He says alcohol sales might boost the city's economy. Conley indicates to the Richmond Register that the number of signatures needed to call a special election has been reached, but they're still circulating a petition. As you may know, Kentucky is one of 5 states that has gotten a waiver from the federal government to bypass some provisions of the National No Child Left Behind law. U.S. Education Secretary Arne Duncan will visit Louisville this week. He'll visit students at Fern Creek High School Thursday. Fern Creek has shown dramatic improvements in its scores in recent years. As potential presidential candidates weigh their chances, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie is dealing with low approval numbers at home. A Quinnipiac survey out today finds the Republican Christie with just 38% approval. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
A new program by the Laurel County Sheriff's Office hopes to crack down on shoplifting.
The Sheriff's Office is putting these flyers in the windows of businesses. The flyers say free ride to jail for those caught shoplifting. Deputies hope the flyers will make people think twice before committing a crime that's a misdemeanor but can mean jail time.
This is a message because a lot of businesses don't prosecute shoplifters, and this is a message with businesses displaying this sign that they do prosecute shoplifters and they do work with the Sheriff's Department and that they will be arrested.
Deputies say in many of their cases, theft is a sign of a bigger problem such as drug use.
Now.